What's up, everybody? We are back with another stream, aka another video. Today, actually, I'm gonna go get some snacks for this. Corey will be back in a second. Jerky out. Fuck yeah. You hate it when your dick goes like inside of your skin. That's the most awkward feeling in the whole entire world. Well, this stream's already demonetized. Alright. So, if y'all don't know, my boy Luke Combs drops yet another album this morning. And I gotta tell you, folks, I've been listening to Luke Combs for a long time. Well, a long time, a couple years. He hasn't been around that long. But the last album we did a review on, I was straight up with you guys. The video is no longer on my channel, but I was kind of disappointed with it. Like the main songs that he sent out first were like really good. Like the first songs that he sent out, like those ones were really good. And then I only found a couple songs other than that I could actually really get into. Couple meaning including Going Gone, the middle of somewhere, and then what was the other song called? It was a fishing song. On the Other Line. Nip those three songs. Plus, I also like Doing This, and then Tomorrow Me was pretty good. The other one that was the most popular is The Kind of Love We Make. I was okay, I guess. Wasn't my favorite from the list. Doing This was one of my favorites from the album. But I'm telling you, man, Luke brought out all the stocks for this album, and it shows. All of these songs are bangers in their own way, and all the songs. I mean, yes, some of the songs have similar sounds, but like the sounds are similar in a good way. Like a lot of these songs tell an individual story in Luke Combs' life, and it makes it so much better. There's only a few songs I couldn't get into from this album, and I usually am one that only likes to put like from an album that someone puts out maybe 4 or 5 songs into my vibe playlist. I'm gonna straight up tell you, out of the 18 songs on this list, 11 of the songs made it into my vibe playlist. And I'm just gonna go through and tell you the list of the songs that made it in. Growing Up and Getting Old, Back 40 Back, You Found Yours, The Beer, the Band, and the Barstool, See Me Now, Joe, A Song Was Born, Love You Anyway, Take You With Me, Five Leaf Clover, and The Part. The songs that did not make my vibe list, but are still really good songs in my opinion. Hannaford Road. Honestly, that one was actually a really close 12th song on my list. But I felt like I already had a lot of songs from the list in there. But it's still a song I'll listen to other than like just my playlist and all that. Still, My Song Will Never Die, Where the Wild Things Are, Fast Car, Tattoo on a Sunburn, and Fox in the Hen House. So those are the songs that did not make it into the list. Piece of jerky does not want to cooperate. There you go. That big old half pounder. Let me get the thing out of there real quick. I hate that thing that's, they put in there. This thing. Classic pepper jerky. I'm a pepper jerky fan. When it comes to Jack Link's, that's their best brand of jerky. Good stuff. Anyways. Oh my, that was a rough one. We got this, don't worry. So let's start off with the songs that I particularly didn't want to put in my list. We'll start with Fast Car, actually. Apparently this song was a cover band, or a cover song. And I looked up the cover song that it was for. So it was from 1988. I don't know if the person, this country, the only information about the artist was singer songwriter. And I just don't get why Luke Combs felt like he needed to make this song, in my personal opinion. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know if it's like has to do with. I just don't know. It's not a terrible song. It's just the lyrics don't mix well, and it doesn't flow. Like none of it makes sense. So like I don't understand. It's not a bad song. None of these songs are terrible in my opinion. None of these are poor written or like not good. I mean, there's some like similarities between some of the songs, but like Fast Car, in my opinion, is just one that didn't strike me as wow. Even the original cover song that he did this for was a wow song, in my opinion. It was like it was interesting to say the least. Interesting. Anyways, that's one. Next, I'm going to move on to Fox in the Henhouse. Now, I just based off the title, I knew I probably wasn't going to like this song particularly. And I was right. I mean, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just it didn't catch my vibe, if you know what I mean. I'm more of a Luke Combs man who likes to sing about drinking, love songs, and just overall doing dumb shit. And I mean, I guess this song is doing dumb shit, but like, it's focused on one generic whole topic of just like him trying to kill a fox that's going after his hens. I mean, like that's basically the entirety of the song, and I love the redneck beat to it. It has the best redneck beat um, to it out of the entirety of the entire album. That makes sense. Entirety of the entire album. But it's a good song. It's not my cup of tea. And I knew going into this I wasn't gonna like every song, but one that I probably didn't like and people question is probably Tattoo on a Sunburn. I don't know, man. That one just kind of struck me off as like Luke Bryan vibes, just something like that Luke Bryan would sing. It had a decent country beat, and but somehow the rhythm and the flow didn't just mix the best, in my opinion. Like, obviously, it's talking about like getting a tattoo, fresh ink, and stuff like that, and then like the tone of it just goes up and down. It just like I don't know. It's not a bad song. It's one of the songs that people have been looking forward to for a while. And maybe I'm just underestimating the song, and maybe I'm just overlooking it. But in my opinion, I just didn't preferably like it as much as all the other songs that were in my playlist. Um, like I said, guys, this is not me ranking the songs from worst to best. I'm just ranking these songs and how I preferably like them. And I think this album was way better than Luke Combs' other album, Getting Old, or Growing Up, I mean. Way better, in my opinion. Next one we should go to is Where the Wild Things Are. And then I was very questionable about going in to listen to this song because I had no idea intently of what the song was going to be about. But I was actually pleasantly surprised, and I actually liked the backstory of it. So basically, it's about a good buddy of Luke Combs who basically owns a motorcycle. And he wants to go. I don't know the word. I don't know if this particular song refers to a gang or anything like that, or some affiliation of that, like a biker gang, or if it has to do with like just going out into the wild west of America, into the desert and whatnot, and just living where the wild things are. I don't know. That's where that intention is. But I still love the backstory of the song between Luke and his friend, of his buddy, Luke's buddy wanting to go out and driving his motorcycle bike, all across the West Coast and all that stuff. And I really, 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 there's one part I really did like about the song. It was really like after his buddy passed away, or if there was a memorial for his buddy who passed away, he wants to be buried where the wild things are in the middle of the desert with like yeah, just basically like that, just like on the West Coast. Something like yeah, it was a good song. I love the story. Luke Combs has a really good storytelling ability, and that's what I really like about a lot of his songs. He just knows how to tell a story, and like I said, a lot of these songs are not that bad. It's just preferably I'm just not a huge opinionly big on them, like other than the other ones that I listen to. Next, we just gotta work with the lister, and then my song will never die. And now I really wanted to go into this song hoping that I would like it, and I was this close from putting it in my jeez, piece of meat. It was really close to put it in my list, but there was this section of song that just kind of drew me away from it. And it was just like 5 to 6 repeated times of him saying like back to back to back to back to back, my song will never die. My song will never die. It kind of got a little off tune and it got a little repetitive, and it felt like he was just trying to draw out the song too much. Like if he would have just maybe kept the song, like because it pretty much the entirety last minute of the song was just him singing that line, and it just got too repetitive. And which I think Luke Combs does usually good with not trying to repeat too much with what he says. But that song he repeated, and like I said, the song itself wasn't bad. I love the lyrics to it. I love the build. I love the beat. I love the entire. Like, I love the entire backstory of the song. I love everything about it. It's just that one section for me just drew me away from it, and I don't know. So I'm getting to the bottom of this jerky. I'm definitely telling there's a different texture taste to it. It's good still, but I do love the song as a whole though. It's basically him talking about like even if he passes on to the afterlife, someone else will carry on his tradition of singing. The guitar will be passed down to the next person to sing his songs for him. So his songs are going to continue. It's just he may not always be here to sing them. That's basically what the song was going for, which I really liked. I love the story and I love the writing of it. It's just like that one section, like I said, just drew me away from the song. Anyways, going on to the next one. There's only a couple more. Yeah, there's only 2 more. Because I covered Fast Car, Tattooed on a Sunbird, Fox in the Hen House, Where the Wild Things Are, My Song Never Die. Still, yeah. So Still, I liked Still. I really did. It was definitely a song I'd still listen to again. The only thing, it was getting to the point where I just didn't want to put every song into my playlist. So basically, the song was talking about like how like his new girlfriend, obviously his new wife. Time makes him stand still when he thinks about how lucky he is to have her, and whatnot, and like and how he's grateful to still have her. It's basically a song dedicated to his wife, and like just something like that. It's just it didn't strike me as wow capability. It didn't strike me as a wow song. I loved it. It was a nice sweet song for him to sing to his wife. But I feel like there was other songs on this list that could have portrayed that same capability. So not a bad song by any means. Just I just didn't personally think the lyrics flowed the greatest with the song. And again, like I said, I just didn't want to put every song into my list. And then Hannah Ford the Road, and that's the one that I almost didn't listen to, but I'm actually very glad I did listen to it last night. It was one of the last ones that I listened to. It basically was kind of a redneck, upbeat country song about this road that was split between Luke Combs' house and then this really nice neighbor's girl. Like they were kids at the time. Like and how the dad didn't want them meeting up or hanging out or nothing like that, and how they always like to sneak out and go down Hannaford Road and get the loving on, get the magic working and all that good stuff. Then eventually the dad found out, and then they had to sneak out in the middle of the night, and they would meet halfway to each other. I liked the song. It was a really, really well sang song, a really well wrote song. And I was so like that song, and then um, what was it? My Song Will Never Die. Both those songs are really close to being in my list. And then I just like again, Hannah Ford Road. Like I said, I'll still listen to it from time to time, but just for the sake of like not having every song from the list or majority of the songs in my playlist, I just kind of left it out. But I still listen to it. It's a good song. It's a good song to get on to if you're trying to make love or anything like that, trying to get lucky. So now let's get on to the songs that were absolutely on my list. And these are the songs that I remember the most. Growing Up and Getting Old. That was one of the first songs that came out on the list. And it was the one that I clicked with the most. It's basically about Luke Combs talking about like now he's at that age in life where he's like he's growing up, he's getting older, but he still likes to have fun, but he does it more reservedly, as a speak. Like he still wants to go out and hang out with the boys, drinking on and have fun, still party and stuff like that, but he doesn't do it as often as he used to anymore. He still likes to tear it up. He likes to tear up the roads. He likes to tear up the countryside. But, he does it a little more reservedly, and he doesn't do it as much as he used to anymore since when he was younger. So I like that aspect of from the first to second album, like of growing up and then getting old. Like you have the song two-parter album come together as one, and it really sings well throughout both albums, and it really suits well with Luke Combs' story of what he wanted to do with these two albums. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I don't know. I think it's a really good song. I can't talk when I'm eating, for the life of me. Especially when I'm eating jerky. It's gonna mess with me. This shit's delicious. Anyways, back to the next song. Back 40 Back. So, I kind of had to listen to this song because the original time I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was like talking to some people on Discord when I was listening to it. But basically, the song is about like how he would love to be able to buy his back 40 back. Basically, I think he like lost it. I'm not exactly sure, but it has to do with property. That's what I know for sure. Like all the privileges of what his back 40 had, like all the like his had a hunting spot for him, had a fishing area for him, like all the and had like a area to drive all of his vehicles and have fun like a country boy does, ATV. So, and I'm guessing throughout the song he might have, or somewhere in life he might have lost the property that he had. So like it kind of relates to that then. And I really like the song. I like the storytelling of it. And it's a good song. So let's move on to You Found Yours. You Found Yours was one that struck me immediately. And I loved it to death, as usual. It was basically a song where he's talking about, originally he talks about a dog, and then like you found yours. Like you found your dog that you wanted. And like the next is kind of like relationship stuff, and he's talking about somebody, and then you found your love or whatever it is, and the song, the melody, the song, the lyrics go all well together, and then finally the song ends with talking about his wife, her finding him or him finding her, like how you found yours and I found mine, basically. It's a really beautiful song. It's a really good song. Really well wrote, like I said, and it's beautifully melody. And yeah, one of my favorites. Oh, and it's definitely one of Luke's more popular ones right now for the new ones that he put out. So that's my consensus. And Back 40 Back also is another consensus one that's really popular that just came out too. Both those ones are consensus good ones. And the next is The Beer, the Band, and the Barstool. This one I feel like is getting criminally underrated currently. And and at first it took me a minute to understand what the song was going for. But once I understood what he was talking about in the chorus and then transpiring from the chorus in the verse, I was like, oh. So basically, he's like talking about himself. He's talking about another guy that was with a girl, and just basically in general, it's just talking about like how like you have three friends. Like one of the friends like helps you forget the night before. One of them kind of brings you up and uplifts you, and the other one keeps you steady and keeps you from falling down. Meaning the beer, which kind of makes you forget the things the night before, the band, which keeps you full of positivity, and the bar stool, which keeps you up from falling down and passing out, basically. So basically, it's his experience with all three of those things coming together as three big friends of yours in your life after a breakup. And it's a really beautiful song. It's actually really more it's deeper than you actually think it is. You should really listen to it with that incentive in mind because that's what it actually is going for. So definitely give that a listen if you haven't listened to it, and give it that incentive that he's talking about. Each thing that he's talking about is talking about each the beer, the band, and the barstool. Each three thing has its own little section that he's talking about with it. So make sure to give that a listen again if you haven't or didn't understand what he meant by it during the song. See Me Now. So this one I really, really liked. And it just really had a great flow and it had a great rhythm. And it really talked about like Luke Combs with the closest friends of his. And talk about how they get it up and they tear it up and they have fun. Always getting out and doing the good shit and, seeing each other again after a long ass time. And he's basically like singing about like I wish you could see me now, basically. See me now, like see how I'm doing and catch up with me and catch up from because back when you knew me I wasn't so big, but now that I'm big now, like I wish you could see me. It's got I can't trans English into exactly what it meant, but I'm pretty sure it goes alongside with like he wants his friend to see how he's doing now, how successful he is, and then he wishes he could be proud of him for what he did and what he's doing right now with his music career. So I really like that song. It really touched home. Another one of these songs did too. Or did I already talk about that song? No, it didn't. That's coming up though. Now, Joe. This one came out before the entire album came out. And Joe, actually, in my opinion, is one of my personal favorites from the entire album. And it's not even meant to be a big banger hit from the album. It's supposed to be more or less kind of like just a side song, in my opinion. But I found it really good. And Luke Combs actually even came out saying that this song was special and dedicated to him and to anybody who has drinking issues. I do have drinking issues. um, but it just talks about like him going through and his buddies going through all these hardships of drinking and whatnot, and it's a really beautiful song. It's a really nice song, and I really loved it. It's one of my favorites from the album, and you can't go wrong with it. but I haven't listened to it in a while. So like all these songs that I'm recalling is songs that I listened to literally this morning. So there's the ideas and everything is still fresh in my head as I'm talking to you guys on live stream. I haven't listened to Joe in a little while. I'll have to give it another listen to eventually though. It's almost up to what was it? It's almost 800,000 views, I think. It's getting or somewhere around there. It's between 750 to 700. 700 I can't speak. Anyways, a song was born, and this song is going for like kind of his first trials and his first experiences with Nashville and everything like that. This is kind of like the backstory to the backstory of his first album or two, with like what was that one song? I feel mad at myself because I should know his songs. When it rains, it pours. It's not that song. It's the other song that's pretty popular. Dude, shit. Oh, she got the best of me. That's one. So basically, like, this is going all the way back to when he first arrived in Nashville, and like he's talking about his experiences, talking about like how from that moment on, when he stepped in Nashville and started writing music and stuff like that, he's talking about a song was born, like a legacy was born, his career was born in Nashville, and that song was his career, and that was When It Rains It Pours. So it's kind of a callback, in my opinion, from the first song that was born to start his path and career and journey to being a big country star. And that's what he's going back to with that song. And I really, really appreciate the song for that. And I love it so much. Um, yeah. That's one of my personal favorites from the list, in my opinion. From the newer ones. Love You Anyway. I think there's no really need to talk about that one. We all know that one's literally one of the best from the album. It's basically a love song for his wife, and regardless of all the different things they may not see eye to eye on, regardless of how different they may be, he will love her anyway. Take You With Me is the one that I really want to talk about, and it took me a minute to understand what the song was going for, but after I realized, I'm like, oh, I like this. So basically, it's him talking about his dad, basically, and it's kind of in our dad song. It's not an emotional dad song, in my opinion. It's kind of just like a generic dad song, talking about like how people today don't take full heed in like knowing what that phrase means, or how he took it. He took some people take for granted what the phrase means, like "take you with me," like for a dad son ratio, like that's like the best thing in the world, and it means the most to a kid. From his understanding of his dad, want him to come with him. So basically, like his dad teaching him everything he knew, wanted to do everything with him, like being that special person in his life and whatnot. And I really appreciate Luke Combs for that, and I really do. I honestly do. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then obviously Five Leaf Clover. We don't really need to discuss that one. That's the song that everybody's been waiting for a long ass time. Literally, he was blessed with a five leaf clover, with the luck of his wife and the luck of how he became a lucky man with everything he found in life after a disappointment with the voice and he got denied. Basically, how his life just got so much more better, and he just became the luckiest man in the world, and how he admits that like no one should be given the world in the palm of their hand, but like he's not gonna deny this opportunity to do what he wants to do with his life and whatnot. And I think it's a beautiful song, and I think in time it's gonna get more popular. I just think so many people have been wait for the song, and And he's put out so many snippets of the song that people kind of knew and expected what it was going to be when it came out for full view. But I think it's going to blow up eventually and just get up to those views that everybody thinks it's going to get up to. And then finally, last but certainly not least, the part. So this song hit hard and hit hard good. So in this song, he's talking about all the advantages of being in his job and what he does and loves what he does. And each chorus he talks about like the part they don't tell you about, but it's the dream and the livable experience and means the world to you when you get to experience it for yourself. Like the first time you get to walk onto that hardwood stage and you get to look out at all those people cheering for you and whatnot. And then the next verse, I don't remember the next chorus, what it was about. It had to do something with like, it's just like each different chorus and each different section, like talked about a different advantage to the job that he does. And like those life-changing experiences and life-changing moments in his job that make it more worth it every single day. Those things that you can't predict. Those things that are just so... It shocks you so much. And he talks about how that's the beauty of his job. And that's the part that he loves the most about it. Is the parts that he doesn't know what's coming next. So, that's that song. But anyways, guys, that is my entire analysis. My 32-minute analysis of this album. And I knew this was going to be a longer video. And I knew yesterday's video was a lot longer than it should have been. An hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to get off here. But I'm just going to leave it as that short. This is a long-ass album to review. Maybe if it was a lot shorter than it was, it probably would have been more around the 20 to 25-minute range. But you know what? It's all good, though. If you like my analysis of the album, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already. Oh, fuck. Very immature, I know. Share the video with your family and friends as always. If you don't already, do it. Alright, and here's the song recommendations I shall give thee. Growing Up and Getting Old. Hannaford Road. Back 40 Back. You Found Yours. The Beer, the Band, and the Barstool. See Me Now. Joe. A Song Was Born. Love You Anyway. Take You With Me. 5-Leaf Clover. And The Pot. So that's going to do it. Corey. Well, that went flying. Corey's going to get the hell out of here. And Corey's going to go have some fun and do his own thing today. He's got to figure out how he's going to kill some people on Boom Beach. See you guys later. Love you.